touchdown, time to get Jalen his ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, really time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, joined as always by my guy Brandon. What is going on? It is Philly the podcast, baby. And we here, man. We here. So we've been meaning to do this for a long time. And I blame it all on Brandon that it hasn't been done yet. You know? No. We've been meaning to do a call-in for a long time. I know you guys got a lot on your mind. A lot has happened. So the way that we're going to do this, because we are obviously public, so this everybody can see this, it is going to be members first. So if you are a member, go to the community post. The link is right there. And then if you're in the what's the thing called? Discord. I also posted the link in there because most of those guys are the members anyway, so just made it easier. So those are the easy ways to find it. And then after like half hour, everybody gets their spiel out. I'll drop it for the rest of you guys, and we'll go another half hour. So we'll go about an hour, maybe an hour, 20 minutes, depending on how it goes. But it's going to be about you guys. But before we do get into what everybody wants to talk about, I just want to talk to you a little bit about Adoree Jackson. It's Adoree. He's a. You like that? Oh, you just froze on me, man.
Did I?
Yeah, you froze on me. You hit the high note though. I believed it came out good. But either way, yeah. So Adoree Jackson chose to stay in New York City. New York Giant fans think they won the Super Bowl. It's an amazing day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm right back to trolling Giants fans. So how do you feel about the Adoree signing?
I think no matter what happens in the NFC East, the Eagles dropped the ball and everything last year. Last year was the Eagles' chance to really take control of the division, have a good season. You make the playoffs because you win the division. Last year was that season. The other teams in the division all had new coaches and everything. That was our chance to shine, and we failed. We failed as a team, and it is what it is. And now we're behind. No matter who signs where, now we're the ones with a brand new head coach, brand new coaching staff, pretty much everywhere except for like two places, and at least the other teams have the systems in place, and they're picking up pieces here and there. But for a guy like Adoree to get $13 million a year, I mean, the Eagles aren't paying that. We don't even have money for that, even if he was a top corner or someone that wanted that kind of money. So, I mean, kudos to him. He got his bag. He got his money. But at the end of the day, I think we're behind in the curve. That I think this season is going to be acclimating to the new system. If we can come out good, that's awesome. And if all our young players are dogs and they're hungry, and it doesn't matter if they're young players or not, and they're going out there and showing out, cool. But I'm counting this season as if the other guys do good, whatever. We're a season behind when it comes to the new coaching staff and all that.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna say this, and you can attest to this. I said at even like $7 or $8 million, I was kind of iffy on Adoree Jackson. So at $13 million, and he's getting paid $16 million this year. This first year, he's getting paid $16 million. I need somebody to fact check that for me because I did just kind of see it while I was coming on here, so I didn't necessarily go through it. But I saw that and I was like, "Damn, you're paying $16 million to a man that just tore his Achilles." So this will be very interesting. Hey, I'm mad that they got the player, but I'm happy that I feel like they had to overpay to do it. So, that's the one W in it, I guess, for us. But it is a good signing for the Giants. So we're going to start this off, man. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the membership if you want. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you are a member, you can go ahead and join. The link is going to be in the community post and in the Discord in one of those channels. I don't really know how Discord works yet. I'm still getting used to it. But
before we get someone on, because I know there's going to be times where we're not going to be talking much, is there anyone that you see in the free agent market that you think we could afford that we should go after right now that's not Joe Flacco?
Anybody but Joe Flacco. I mean, there's a couple. There's a linebacker that I can't pin my name on, but I'm sure somebody's gonna bring him up in this live. There's a couple guys out there that are decent. Nobody I really want to go big on though. Like, hey, what do you really need now? I feel like you do need a cornerback too, but I don't know if there's really one out there that's a free agent that's really worth it. Maybe somebody like Razul. Maybe somebody like a Kevin King. I've heard his name thrown around a couple times. So maybe if you're still looking at a cornerback, you look at somebody like that. Maybe you're looking at a wide receiver. If you want like a vet wide receiver, there's still names like Sammy Watkins. I don't know how much he's going to be asking for, but I mean, I guess those are names you can look at. But at this point, I think we saw all the names that we probably wanted. You know what I'm saying? Especially at backup quarterback, because that run just killed us because there's nobody left. We're talking to Joe Flacco, Brandon. We are talking to Joe Flacco. And I know me and you have different opinions on Joe Flacco. But we'll ask. So this is what we'll do. We'll bring in Lindy End Zone first. Shout out to my guy. He was the first person in here. And he's an up-and-coming content creator himself. He's actually doing NBA play-by-plays and everything now. So really killing it. And that's going to be our first question to him. All right, we're going to ask him that first. We're going to ask him, what he thinks about Joe Flacco. So what's good, Lindy? How you doing, brother?
What's up? Looks like y'all brought me on. I was in the middle of doing some research on the since the Giants decided to bring in Adoree, I was looking at some of the free agent corners that are still available. So, yeah, what's up?
So we can start there. Well, let's start with Joe Flacco because that's still kind of like the hot name in my head. So he was asking me how I felt about Joe Flacco. How do you feel about Joe Flacco? Us obviously talking to him. Is that the guy that you think we should bring in?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, he seems to be kind of under a same veteran pedigree as Nick Foles. The only difference is we're looking at Joe Flacco, who's about as old as Aaron Rodgers. He's like 36. Aaron Rodgers is about 36, 37. So, I mean, if the Eagles want to go down the route of like picking up a guy under a vet minimum, that sort of thing, I'm pretty sure that's all Joe is going to kind of aim towards as far as the price that we could pretty much pay for him. He's coming off of neck surgery. He only played 2 games for the Jets, backing up Sam Darnold. But the biggest attraction to him right now is that he's healthy, and it's that kind of veteran presence that Philly could use. Am I opposed to it? No. I think between him and Foles, personally, I would rather Foles because he has a lot more familiarity with the city of Philadelphia, obviously. But at the same time, I think bringing him back with this kind of a culture change and this, it's a fresh atmosphere in Philly with Nick Sirianni there. It could be something special that he could, that he could join upon with Jalen Hurts and company.
Now, let me ask you guys both a question. I want to ask you both this thing. I hear the word, or the phrase, I should say, veteran quarterback, veteran leadership thrown around a lot when we talk about older quarterbacks. I asked this on my Twitter, and I got different answers. I got weird answers, but I want to ask you guys, like, what does he bring to this team, Joe Flacco, and what did he necessarily bring to the Jets? Maybe it's an unfair question because I know I personally don't watch the Jets like that, so I really can't answer it. But, the real point I'm trying to make is he going to be a veteran leader, or is he just going to be an arm? And at that point, do you just go get some random guy? Because, if I'm getting an old guy, if I'm getting an older dude that I'm obviously hoping doesn't play, I kind of hope that he's going to at least teach the young guy there. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like you said, you hope that it meshes well with the young guy. So what do you think about that? Or are you just cool with him just kind of being an arm at the end of the day?
I think that boils down to a personality perspective. And, we've heard that issue before when Joe was in Denver, how he was, the lack thereof of how he was whether or not able to connect well to Drew Lock. We heard that in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. And then I think there was a little bit of those concerns for the Jets with Sam Darnold. So it just comes down to, like, he's a quarterback that's been there, done that, obviously. And, like I said, from a personality perspective, it's just up to how open he's going to be in this quarterback room, how well he's going to take on this role that Philly would like to have him take upon if he's signed to the Eagles.
Yeah, I think using the Jets is kind of it's not really fair in a sense because the Jets stunk no matter if Sam Darnold. I mean, there was just no way around Adam Gase, and that whole situation was just trash no matter which way you look at it. So it's hard to use that against them. And then going back to, I guess the only really one you could say is maybe the Broncos, because Baltimore, you figured you have a man with an ego. The guy won a Super Bowl. He was a starter. And then to have to be like, now can you bond with this rookie and try to train him to be better than you and take your spot? I mean, as a guy that was that dude, that's hard to ask. I mean, you hope, you pray, but Tom Brady got Garoppolo kicked out of New England, and then he bounced it to Tampa. So I think with Joe Flacco now, you would hope that after all these experiences that he would come in and do like that veteran kind of leadership thing at this point in his career. He knows he's not a starter, and it's kind of like him coming back. I know he's not from Philly, but he's from close to Philly, and everyone's I've seen been saying like bringing the hometown kid back or whatever to be on the team. It's kind of like DeSean Jackson going to LA. He's not going to be a starter, but he's finishing his career in LA where he's from. So that's where I can see it. And with Foles, I feel like that'd be tricky. Obviously, we all love Foles, and seeing him back in the Eagles would always be cool. But I feel like as soon as no one's going to be screaming for Joe Flacco or a quarterback taken in like the 6th round. But as soon as Hurts does bad, people are going to be calling for Foles. I don't care if Foles is older or if he's been around. Everyone is going to still have that Super Bowl run in our brains, and he will not be a distraction on purpose. But between the media and fans, I think it would cause a distraction.
See, This is my thing. Before you go, I want to just say one thing. And I've said this before. I do not give a damn what these fans think. Like, the fans themselves don't make decisions, and we got to stop thinking that we do. Like, at the end of the day, like, for us to continue, we're going to get mad no matter what happens. I think that's something that we can all agree upon. We all know that next year is probably going to be a rough year, but we're going to be pissed once we start losing games. That's what we are as fans. That's just our fan base. And it's fine. It's not a big deal. We're passionate. But we can't keep saying we shouldn't do that because our fans, our fans are idiots sometimes. You know, it is what it is. Some of us are very, very smart. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are very loyal fans and know the game of football. But I'm not making decisions based off what we think might happen, with feel like Nick Foles will come in here and honestly probably be on his last leg. You know what I'm saying? This will probably be his last trip anywhere. I doubt that he's going to be looking for a contract after this. I doubt he's looking for a starting job right now. So I think he brings the most teaching aspect, like the most leadership aspect out of anybody that's in this. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like me and you have both said this. I feel like you have to pick one side or the other. This is the one year you really cannot ride that fence of quarterbacks. You either have to have a backup that's going to be a backup and you have no intention of him playing, or you have to have a quarterback competition, and that's it. You have to go get the best quarterback you can find and put him in a competition. You have to make one of those decisions. So we obviously, as fans, don't want a quarterback competition, but I just feel like you can't straddle that line because it helps no one. You know what I'm saying? It helps no one. If Joe Flacco ends up playing 4 or 5 games, or if Nick Foles ends up, to have that mindset that we'll be calling for someone, it hurts. It helps no one, and it hurts is what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Foles is not going to bring, like, if it ends up being Nick, and and I explained this in a video. I mean, it's pretty enticing for the Bears to consider a trade because they got to come up with a decision on what they want to do here. They bring in Andy Dalton. Him and Nick are around the same age. They're keeping the age of their starting quarterback the same. So, I mean, they got to make a decision. They have to figure out, does Foles have a market right now? Do we just want to eat the $3.7 million, cap hit and release him? or do we want to try and trade him to somebody who could use either a backup or a veteran starter and save about 1.3 million? So I mean, in the case, if it ends up being us, Foles is going to be the kind of quarterback in the room that's not going to be a, from competition perspectives, he's not going to be threatening per se. He's going to be more, when we talk about competition, he's going to be more along the lines of wanting to get the best out of Jalen Hurts or whoever the starting quarterback is going to be. Because, Nick is that type of guy. And, there's a reason why a lot of Eagles fans are still attached to him is, it not only does it come down to the player, but it comes down to, the person. And from Nick's side, this is just going to be a mental thing for him. He doesn't want to. It's like being in a relationship where the ex wants to, keep taking you back. Like, he's probably thinking like, you guys need to make up your mind. Do you want me or not? So if we can get past that and a deal is made and we can show some like clarity for the future down the road in wanting to keep Nick, and we'll still end up drafting a quarterback, I feel, just so we have a camp body to groom in the background while we have our number one and number two. But yeah, that's just what it comes down to me.
Now, let me ask you guys this. I mean, well, me and you already talked about it, Brandon, but let me ask you, Lindy, what do you think about the Adoree signing? Does that, and overall, the Giants offseason? I mean, RB came into my morning live and was talking about their offseason overall and was like, they're strapping up, man. They have some weapons on that defensive side. Hopefully nobody is watching this that I've been trolling on Facebook, but I can't deny that they definitely have gotten better. So how do you feel about the Giants offseason so far?
Well, I think they've done a pretty good job. Obviously their goal was to go the offensive direction first. They want to have some stability for Daniel Jones to kind of put him, towards the top of the map as far as the quarterback competition goes in the NFC East. Obviously, it was shaken up with the departure of we know who. not gonna say a name because it's already been exhausted over the course of these months. But
thank you, I appreciate that.
So I mean, and I think in the back of Joe Judge's mind, he recognizes that, and he knows that Dak Prescott is coming off of a nasty ankle injury. Washington has had a question mark at quarterback for quite some time. They're going to try and do something with Ryan Fitzpatrick. So while Joe Judge knows that he still has this young guy in Daniel Jones who, here and there, he's got his own issues to work around, but there's been this missing piece here, there's been this missing piece there. Now that there's some stability to where you add depth, he brings in Kenny Golladay. He has a second tight end with Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph. You bolster the defense up a little bit. You're adding a nice piece to the secondary, which I'm pretty sure, to my knowledge, Adoree Jackson's only about 25 or 26. So you're kind of not catching 21 there, but you're trying to click both boxes at the same time with the age, and he's a decent corner. So this is coming down to these organizations, like, they want to be the top dog of the division, put themselves in the best position to consistently make the playoffs. So kudos to them. It just puts us towards the bottom as far as playmakers go, because we need some offensive weapons ourselves. But I do have a bit of faith. I do have a bit of faith in who we got. It's just how well they buy into Nick Sirianni's system in combination, in tandem with Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon. Brian Johnson is very intriguing to me as a quarterback coach. I'm pretty excited to see what he can do with Jalen Hurts, and then whoever the veteran backup is going to be. That's more exciting on that end. But yeah, kudos to the New York Giants.
Yeah. Now let me ask you one more question before I get somebody else in here. I want to ask you. This is going to be a little bit more poignant. Okay. So he got $16 million, right? You know, for the first year at least, right? Overpaid as hell, right? But I want to ask you a question because a lot of people were roasting me. I'm sure you were in that chat when I was talking about DeSean Jackson and how I'd, give up a second round pick for him. Does that seem a little bit more understandable? Because if we were going to go after someone like, Adoree Jackson, I mean, if we're willing to go into that territory, now I'm not saying that we would have gave him the same contract, probably nothing even close, but we probably would have had to at least talk in the 8 to 10 range. Now, if you have that type of money that you're willing to do something like that, how do you feel about going after someone bigger, a bigger name like DeSean Jackson?
I mean, as long as it's in Howie Roseman's crystal ball, then I don't know how you can't say no. But considering the free agents that are still available, if Howie wants to continue down the path of the bargain bin mentality and really trying to ease on his cap spending and keep his focus primarily on the draft and actually utilizing the 11 picks that we have instead of giving up assets. I would also appreciate the fact of, sticking with free agency because there's still a lot of decent corners available. You take a guy like Quentin Dunbar, who was kind of down for Seattle last year. He went through a knee injury. I don't know the extent of the severity, but if you go back to some of his tape when he was with Washington, 2019, PFF graded him an 88. So if as far as bargain bin goes, he only made about a little over $3 million for Seattle. He's an unrestricted free agent. So if you want to toss him maybe about the same amount of money as Anthony Harris, if you feel that he can get back to form when he was with Washington, I think he'd be a nice outside piece to pair with Slay. Talking about a guy that's 6'2", 195 on the taller side. You were mentioning Rasul Douglas in the stream earlier. So if you want a veteran corner that has a little more experience than Rasul, you can go down that route as well. I would not mind Quentin.
Look, I'm going to be the DeSean Jackson plug for the next couple of days until something happens with him. So just get used to it. I'm going to keep on asking everybody. I want someone to be on this train with me because look, man, that would be a big move for me. But I agree. We have a lot of different options we can go. But before I get you off here, please tell the people where they can find your channel and everything so they can go sub you up, bro, because we got to make this family a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. No, I've been appreciating the support that I've gotten so far. I'm 3 subs away from 50, halfway to 100 in such a short amount of time. It's humbling. So, but yeah, you can check me out at Lindy End Zone. I've been very excited with the amount of live stream play-by-plays I've been doing for my Dallas Mavericks. I did drop a quick trade machine video about an hour or so ago. Check that out as well. You can find me on Twitter for the same handle as my channel. And yeah, appreciate the support that I've been getting.
Yes, sir. And so I'm going to leave so now I put the names back on because you guys know our names, so I never have them. But so check him out, Lindy End Zone. Definitely making great contact. Lindy, I appreciate you coming on here, brother. You have a great night.
Definitely, Castro. Check y'all later.
Yes, sir. Later. God bless. And before we get AK Eagles on here, I just want to give a quick shout out to Eagle Slayer for the $10 donation. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. He says, have a great stream. We're going to try, man. We're going to try. Nobody's too upset yet, so it's feeling good. I feel like we're just getting a little stuff off our chest for now. But we're going to add AK Eagles into the stream if he is there. Looks like he's on mute, but there we go. What's good, brother?
Yo, what's good, man?
What's goody? What's goody? How you feeling, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just had my birthday on Saturday, so just enjoying coming off the weekend.
Happy belated. Happy belated birthday. How old you turning? If you don't mind. If you don't mind this.
33, man.
Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, so you're around our age. There we go. So let me ask you something, because a lot of people in the chat are asking this now. Kyle Pitts ran a 4.46. How are you feeling about Kyle Pitts? Is that the guy you want to go after, or?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I know a lot of people are concerned about his injury history and all that, but you know what? There's only so many times a dude at 6'6", 250 comes out and runs a 4.4, and that's just something you kind of have to take a chance on. Whether or not injury history, you know, that only happens now and then. You know, so that's something you have to jump on. You know, whether it's good or bad, you know, don't
Yeah,
come
I
around
agree.
often.
I agree. Honestly, you know, if you've been watching, I know you have, you know, a lot of people that have been watching me know I said before all this, before I started hating on Kyle Pitts, I was like, if he runs anything sub 4.5, I'll shut up and I'll just eat it. And, you know, it is what
Oh,
it is.
dude,
Like you said,
I've been a hard advocate about, you know, I told you, I said, if he runs a 4.4 or below, I said, move him to wide receiver 1. You know, I
yeah,
mean, he can run a 4.4, put him at 6'6". Good luck trying to cover that. I mean, and he proved it today, running a 4.4. So, you know, at this point, it's like, yeah, I see tight end all over it. That's awesome. Let him play some. But, dude, I'd mainly put him at wide receiver.
that's my whole thing. And Brandon, how do you feel about those? Because, I mean, we didn't even talk about it yet.
I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. The 40-yard dash is always dope. And a lot of the big names at wide receiver or, wide receiver, you want to move into wide receiver 1, they've all ran like around like that 4.4 range. Like they all haven't been those 4.2 guys that everyone loves to see with the crazy speed. Those 4.4 guys like a Mike Evans, those guys.
Calvin Johnson 4.3 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
You know?
you might have to take a chance on him if I'm still on the if Jamar Chase is there and Pitts is there, I might still go Jamar Chase. But let's say both wide receivers.
You know, either way, man, it's a win-win either way. I'm not going to be sad, you know, just as long as I come out here and do something really push. You know, if he takes Chase, if he takes Pitts, hell, even if he takes Smith, man, I'm happy with that, you know. But I'm a huge advocate of taking a second and a third or 30 or 2 seconds and moving back up into the first and grab a corner or something. Yeah, I feel we have a better option from offsetting.
I think you're cutting up. Are you cutting up? Can you hear him?
No, he's cutting up a little bit.
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. I was just saying I'd trade up because at least, you know, if you could grab Horn or Parsons or something like that, you still get a quality player, you know, at least a better player than what you possibly could get out of a second, you know.
Yeah,
right.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
We were just talking about the Giants picking up Adoree, but I want to know your opinion on the guy we picked up on Anthony Harris. I want to know what you think about that signing. And if you think that maybe this is the Eagles showing that we ain't going to sleep this season.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I never count on us to sleep. I mean, if you're a real Eagles fan, you never, ever want us to sleep. You know, even if our team is shit, you know, we expect the best. You know, I mean, that's just how we're built, you know. If they're trying but losing, hey, I'm okay. As long as you out there playing with your heart and you don't quit, there's nothing much you can do about that, you know. But if you're out there and you were playing like Dallas's D last year, well, then we're going to have some issues, you know. But I don't see us being as bad as what everyone thinks, you know. I do say they were 500, like 8 and 9, you know, because we have that one extra game this year. But,
yeah,
you know, I don't see us being a playoff team, at least not this year. You know, what next year with going to be like, what, 50,000 cap, something like that.
Now, let me ask both of y'all, because I mean, at the end of the day, we don't have a backup. I know we talked to Joe Flacco. I know that there's a bunch of people that we probably wanted that are now on different teams or not options. What do you think the Eagles should do at that backup quarterback spot? Is Joe Flacco somebody that you think we should seriously consider? Should we give up some assets and go get a Nick Foles? What do you think about that?
Well, I'm just going to be blunt with you and just say hell no. I'm not a Flacco fan. I never have been, you know. As far as I know, he's not one to really work with quarterbacks either, is he? Like whenever
That's
he went
my
to
thing.
Denver or whatever, wasn't he kind of pissed about that? So, I mean, I don't see him helping Hurts. Me, in my opinion, man, I'd rather, and I don't think he's going to fall to it, but I'd wait till like the fourth or fifth round and get like Jamie Newman or, somebody that you can develop but will still compete with Hurts, because, I mean, if you watch Jamie Newman's film, man, he has a cannon for an arm and he can
Yeah.
run. He's kind of with the, so you don't have to change the offense that much if something would happen to Hurts. You can still scheme around both of them the same way. And, you take him in the fourth or fifth, most people won't expect much from him. So if he does do something great, hey, he's a surprise, But that way, Jalen doesn't feel like his job's threatened by taking someone at 6 or in the second round either. So you still get a win-win. You get a potential quality quarterback with, fourth or fifth round.
Right. I agree. I want weapons in these first couple of rounds.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. You have to use the first 5, man, on weapons for Hurts.
Right.
Because if you go in here and you give, Hurts the same piece of shit you gave Carson Wentz, well, anyone's going to fail. I'm sorry. Anyone's going to. So if we're going to give this kid an honest audition, one that we didn't give Wentz per se, then give him some weapons and let's see what he's got. If you're going to give him an honest, fair trial, then do it right. If you don't do it right, then who knows what the hell is going to happen. And we'll just be in the situation 3 or 4 years from now. So let's do it right the first time, get it done right, and let's move on.
That's the thing. We're not a team that goes through a lot of quarterbacks. So this is kind of like, I mean, especially it's not even that we're going through a lot of quarterbacks. It's that we went through a lot of quarterbacks. Then we got Wentz and we were like, finally, it's over. Like, we got it. You know what I'm saying? No more worrying. And now we're right back in the situation. And it's, whether I'm not going to get too deep into it. Y'all know how I feel about Wentz. But, whether you're on one side or the other about Wentz, it really doesn't matter. We're here now. So it's like.
He rubbed me the wrong way, too. I'm with you. We don't need to get into it. There's some things that, just need to go said and some things that need to go unsaid. And I think he did a lot more unsaying shit than he did saying. So we'll just leave it at that.
I agree. Now, let me ask both of y'all because, shout out to DeSean Jackson and pat on my back real quick because I made that little clip video about like his memories or whatever, and he shared it on Instagram. I was tweaking. I was happy about that. So let me ask you, how do you feel about DeSean, both of you guys? This guy's been around for a minute, man. You said your age. We're obviously all around the same age. This guy's been, the better part of our fandom. He's been an Eagle. So how do you really feel about this guy leaving, man?
This one first.
Oh, you said I can go? Or
Yeah.
Oh, word. Yeah. It's bittersweet. I mean, I get it. I know why he has to go. You always want players like that to be an Eagle or to be on your favorite team forever. But I guess the second best thing outside of when he went to Washington is that he's going to at least play for a team in his hometown. Where like a guy like Marshawn Lynch, he was about to end his career and then he ended up going to play for the Raiders for a little bit before they moved to Las Vegas. It's like if you can't finish your career with the team that drafted you, the next best thing is to play with the team that's like where you grew up, your hometown. Even though the Rams are new to LA, that's still LA and that's where he's from and everything. So it's bittersweet. I'm going to miss him. I was excited when he came. I was excited for those 3 whole games he played in 2 years, but it is what it is at this point. He's a business. He's making more than what I'd be willing to pay at this point, considering that he just literally was hurt for 2 years in a row. So it is what it is. He came back. He showed us some love. He showed us love even when he's gone. So I'll take it. I'd rather him over there than back with like Washington or switching up to Dallas or something crazy.
I didn't even think I'd be this upset if I'm being 100% honest. I thought I wouldn't care. I thought I knew it was going to happen. I thought, oh, whatever. We all know DeSean Jackson ain't going to be here next year. But then it actually, like, he was with another team, and I was like, damn, this stings a little bit. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. I remember DeSean drafted, I I remember the miracle at the Meadowland. God, that was just, when he dropped that ball at first, my heart sunk. And then when he took off, it was over, and I was like, "There's no fucking way that just happened."
He's running outside the end zone.
I know the Giants were feeling the same way. Like, no, that didn't just happen. Like, it was awesome. Like, definitely one of the highest highlights of my life so far. That was amazing.
I feel like DeSean has been on the. I feel like DeSean has been on the other side of like a lot of the memorable moments for the Eagles, especially in the link. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's done some crazy stuff in there. So yeah,
I want to ask you an honest question, Joe. And I got into an argument in A2D radio about this with a bunch of blockheads, in my opinion. But no lie, somebody said, "Is DeSean Jackson a Hall of Famer?" And I, in my opinion, I said yes. And I got a lot of grief for that. But what's your opinion? I mean, he hasn't done anything spectacular. But I mean, I do know, doesn't he hold the record for the most touchdowns over 50 yards?
I think it's over 60.
Have over 60 even. Yeah. So he does have things. I get it. He doesn't have that amount of yardage to make him a Hall of Famer, or maybe even the touchdowns, but with the time that he has had and the time that he was given, I believe he's done enough to be not a first round, but
I can agree with that. Like, I can say that he's not gonna, down the road, I think he'll be more appreciated than he will like on the first turnaround. As an Eagles fan, I want to say yes, he's first ballot Hall of Famer. But he's already in the.
No, realistically, he's not first round. But these dudes were saying like he's never going to be in. I'm like, for you to say never, that's hard. I mean,
never say never. He might. I think the lack of wow, like he never had won a Super Bowl. That's going to obviously hurt him, because I feel like that's what these people look at. But the voters, the Hall of Fame voters, are going to be changing pretty soon as well. Like, a lot of them are starting to kind of, I don't want to say age out, because they don't age out, but you're going to start seeing a lot of new reporters that, exactly. You're going to start seeing a lot of new reporters that can
get those goddamn boomers out, man. That's the issue.
Exactly, because they're not going to do it unless you have to be like insane. You know what I'm saying? And you have to kind of kiss their butt a little bit to really get in there. But I think D-Jax will definitely get serious consideration. I agree that I don't think he'll necessarily be a first or maybe even second ballot, but I think down the road,
dude, that would piss T.O. off so much.
That's the thing. He's not even in it. Yeah, it took him a while to get in there.
It took him a while, and it's unfair because he's literally, if not number one, number two best wide receiver all time, in my opinion.
Well, who would you put number one then?
I'd probably put Randy, T.O., then Jerry Rice.
Calvin Johnson is not even on that? Are you shitting me?
I can't.
You don't even have Calvin in that? What?
Not top three, nah. You can rearrange that top three any which way, but not in my top three.
Okay.
This might get spicy in here. Before I forget.
No. Hey, he's entitled to his opinion, bro. He's entitled to it. Bro.
Before we go too far, hold on.
That he had though, man, that you can't justify it, dude. Like, if Calvin would have had a great team, man, imagine if he would have had Barry Sanders and one of a good quarterbacks that Detroit actually had, and that was a solid team, dude, they would have been a nightmare to beat. A nightmare.
Yeah. I like Calvin. I love Randy. I think Randy is the best in my opinion.
For sure. Randy and Jerry Rice, hands down, man. They were.
Yeah, you can't say nothing about Jerry Rice. Now, who was the other? T.O.
Bro,
I don't know if I'll put him top three. I don't know. The only reason I say I don't know is just because how much he moved around, and your personality has something to do with it. Because realistically, if we're talking just like talent, I could put Ocho Cinco right next to T.O. Like, Ocho Cinco was a dog. Ocho Cinco was a dog.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying Calvin's hands, bro. Like,
he wasn't a traditional. Did I say Calvin Johnson? I meant Terrell Owens. I meant T.O. and Ocho Cinco.
No, you said T.O., but I'm arguing for the Calvin side, like his hands. Did you know he was not a natural body catcher? He caught with his hands. Not everybody does that. Like, not even anybody does that. Yeah, like
Calvin was definitely a rare breed.
it just sucks. I really wish he could have got one. He was amazing.
I
Really was.
East. Definitely top 5.
Yeah. Should have been on our
Let me
damn
ask-
team, bro.
So let me ask you one question before I get you out of here. You said
Yeah.
you wanted to go 5. You said the first 5 need to be offense. Is that correct? That's what you said?
No. I just said well,
Weapons.
No,
It could be
honestly-
offensive, defensive weapons. It's not a quarterback.
yeah. The first 5 have to be positional player picks. Like corner, linebacker, maybe another
Okay.
safety, wide receiver, tight end, people that you can put around Hurts. And that's defensively as well, because the defense plays a big part. I mean, if the defense can stop him and he can get out there in good field position, Hurts can do something. But if he's always backed up like he was last year on the 10-yard line, well, that's harder to do stuff. So defense plays a role. So if you get position players and good players in the first 5 picks, yeah, I believe we'll be okay. Especially if these fundamental guys, do their fundamental teaching and teach them how to play fundamental football, so to speak. Then we'll be all right.
Fundamentals.
Hey,
I
Fundamentals.
love it. Fundamentals. I love it. Hey, but AK, I appreciate you swinging through, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And hey, bro, I've been with you for a long time. Love watching your stuff. Keep doing what you're doing. I love growing with
Thank
you,
you so
man.
much.
And I can't wait to see what comes. I can't wait. I'll be there, bro.
Sir, you already know. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you,
No
brother. Have a
problem.
good night.
Yeah, you guys have a good one, man.
Peace. Now before I've had this up for a minute. I've been trying to read it. I'm sorry. Be More Philly. Shout out to you, my guy, with the $5 super chat. Saying Pitts is a weapon that should be used in every position. And yes, Newman is a great idea. Let me catch up on these comments real quick before we get the next person. And shout out to Stephen Joyce, channel member in the building. Shout out to my guy Philly Fresh that was in the building. I think he bounced out. Shout out to Waylon Sembe in the building. Shout out to Be More Philly Indy. This is a different one. He said he got trollers. Well, they got more money than you, buddy. Apparently, no, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Ray Lester in the building. Tommy Wynn. We got Cowboys Digital in the building. NFC East B, Solo Bolo, Ray Lester. I see everybody, man. I see y'all all. Jersey Boy in the building. Kevin Thomas in the building. I think I got everybody. Which one?
The wide receivers. I just want to see who he put in his top 3.
This one?
Yeah. My order: Rice, T.O., Moss. Yeah, see?
Oh, so you put the same thing as him. He said you bugging it.
I think he's talking about the other dude because he
Oh. Yeah, you're right.
Come,
I think I got everybody.
don't know. He's a freak athlete, phenomenal wide receiver, but those 3 right there, there's something different.
I think I got Mr. Philly in the building, channel member in the building. Was good to him. All right, so yeah, I got and Scoob Doo in the building. We got everybody, I swear. So now we have the infamous, the most known man across the land, the content creator that you have seen in all live call-in shows, the man, well, the boy, the myth, the legend, Braden. What's going on, buddy? How's it going, my man?
Oh, with the fresh cut too.
Yeah, he came in here stunting.
I got Joe's red hair, so.
We got a hot date coming up. So how's it going, brother? How you doing, man? How you feeling about this off season so far?
I would rate this off season from this point probably like a C. Because I like the Anthony Harris signing. I think we signed him. I'm pretty sure. I haven't. I'm pretty sure we signed him. But yeah, I think that was a decent signing, and that's pretty much. And the Adams dude, that was pretty much like our only 2 signings, and that were notable. So I would give it a C so far.
Okay, so that means you're waiting for the draft to really see what you could.
Did you see that? Bro, my what's it called? Hold on, that just scared the hell out of me. My headphones switched to something out there, and it just oh my god, that just scared me. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That just scared the heck out of me.
No, but he was saying it's incomplete because I'm assuming he's waiting for the draft.
Yeah.
So
I
with
got
some of
to see more
players,
of the team. Like,
Yeah, so I want to know who you want at 6 at this point. I know you've been kind of switching up sometimes, but I want to know, what does Braden want now?
Kyle Pitts. Like,
Hey.
and I'm pretty sure I kind of have a terrible memory, but for the podcast, you're Chase believer, right? Or
Yes, sir.
I'll switch that up right now. Kyle Pitts, he ran very fast for a tight end at the 40-yard dash. He is 6'6", 246. And he is a beast. He is physical, he is big, and he can be a wide receiver. That is why we're gonna get Kyle Pitts. And that is why we still get Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
So if everybody's still there, if Chase is still there, if Devontae Smith, everybody's still there, you're taking Kyle Pitts over all of them.
Yes. I think
Okay.
he is pretty good.
So-
Not only
How do-
Jalen Hurts Hall of Fame level, but he's pretty good.
I was
Would you
just,
say, Brandon?
would you be upset if Kyle Pitts went earlier in the draft if another team picked him up?
Not really, because I still like Chase.
Okay.
Now, how do you feel about Adoree Jackson? Are you mad we didn't get him?
I am a little mad because he is a great player. I think, in my opinion, he's a great player, and I think he went to the Giants. I'm pretty sure, and I'm kind of sad because now the Giants. I'm pretty sure I haven't really in the past days been keeping up with the news, but I'm pretty sure Kenny Galladay went to the Giants too.
Yep.
And I'm really mad because now the Giants, we got to cover Kenny Galladay. And he's a pretty good receiver in my opinion.
Yeah.
And now, I'm going to take a couple steps back to the DeSean Jackson Hall of Fame talk.
All right, how do you feel about that? Oh,
I-
you can read it. You can read it. He just says he wants their team.
I think DeSean Jackson definitely deserves. If he, in my opinion, he definitely should be on the third. I'm pretty sure they do ballots. I think he should be on the third one, like the last one, because I do think he is a good Hall. I think he is Hall of Fame material, especially for some movements he has done. But I do think to get to the second or to a decent ballot, he has to win a Super Bowl. Because especially with judges now, you have to win a Super Bowl or you're not getting in, pretty much.
That's a fact.
Unless you're really, really good.
Yeah, the numbers got to be crazy. So let me ask you one last question before we get you out of here because we got people in here waiting. I want to get them in here. So let me ask you this. Who is your choice for backup? I mean, we've talked to Flacco. We've talked to a couple different people. Who do you want?
I'm agreeing with I'm green. I think we should get Jamie Newman in the 4th or 5th round. Yeah. And also for my top wide receivers, I would go Jerry Rice number 1, Randy Moss number 2, probably Terrell Owens number 3, Calvin Johnson number 4, and Chad Okocinco number 5. And also,
You guys are agreeing with Brandon too much. I don't like this. I'm not a fan of it. Can we disagree with Brandon here? So, Brandon, before we get you off here, let them know where they can find you because I know you're one of the youngest in charge right now. You know what I'm saying? Doing your thing.
Recently, I've been sick a couple days, so I haven't been posting recently, but I'm trying to get back on the grind by probably Wednesday. I have some videos prepared, but you can find me on my YouTube channel, Philly Fan All Day, and you can find me on my Discord at Gmon or Philly Fan All Day. So that is where you can find me pretty much. Yeah.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for stopping by, man. Honoring us with your presence. All right, man. Have a good one, brother. Have a good night.
Bye. Peace.
Peace. That man's a legend, bro. That is a legend.
Yo.
He said, "Let's just ignore Joe and answer all of Brandon's questions." You guys, why are you guys so mean to me today? All right, so we're gonna bring on Mr. Philly because he's a channel member, so I do got to bring on the channel members first.
Yo.
And he's rocking the best sweater in the game
Hold on. Let me show you the second one though. I got the other one too. I'm waiting on my case.
He's killing it right now.
I'm waiting on my case.
I'm killing it right now.
I'm waiting on. But
what's good, brother?
I'm chilling. How about you, man?
Good, man. Good.
Can't complain.
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
So how you feeling about this Giant? I feel like this is the hot topic right now. Like, how do you feel about the Giants offseason? Do you think they overpaid for Adoree? Like, what are your feelings right now?
Wait, hold on. I just got done from playing ball. They got Adoree?
Yeah, they got Adoree. $13 million a season.
Y'all playing? No, y'all playing. Y'all playing.
That's serious.
Okay, what did they pay him though? What did they pay him? Say it again. I ain't catch it.
3 years, $39 million. So the first year I think is $16 million is what I read.
$39 million? Yeah, that's overpaid. I wasn't gonna pay him that much. I'm cool. I wasn't gonna pay him that much. So yeah, he can stay at the Giants.
Facts. You're gonna get a lot of dollar slices out there for that.
Yeah, he's got the money for that. I mean, I like the Anthony Harris signings though. I like that signing. I like the signing. It's a pretty good signing. He was good that season we played the Vikings. 2019, I think he had like 6 picks. I'm pretty sure he had 6 picks. He had around 50 pass deflections, something like that. But he was just going off that year. But that was probably his only like top dog year. But yeah, I like the signing.
See, and Tommy says it's only $13 million a year. It averages out to $13 million, but I've read that he was getting paid $16 in the first year. So I mean, it's kind of like the opposite of what we're doing, basically. Like a lot of teams are basically front loading the contract because I want to say it's the Giants that did it with Kenny Golladay as well. Like he's getting paid basically his whole contract within like the first 2.5 years, if you will. So. I mean, they got the money to do that. I don't think it's going to really help them. I don't think they're really going to be that much better this year. You know what I'm saying? Like I've talked to some Giants fans, and they're like, "Well, look at what the Buccaneers did. They went out in free agency and they won themselves a championship." That's not how it worked. They went out there and got them Tom Brady, added him to a very good team.
Go.
Exactly.
Like, Danny Dimes, not Tom. That's all I'm saying. Like you can't compare those two situations. Like. Come on now.
And I don't understand why Golladay really picked Danny Fumbles. Like, you had a choice. I mean, I think he picked the money. I really think he picked the bag over everything, because there's no way you're getting that same offer, even to stay in Detroit. Like, I'd probably play under Jared Goff before I'd play under Danny. Maybe I'm just being a hater. I think that's kind of a hater statement right there.
I'd rather play under Jared Goff, to be honest. I'm not playing.
What's your grade on our offseason so far? Do you think how we can save this team from another terrible season?
I'm gonna be honest. I can't say save, but I can see it probably like a minor season. I see it winning the division like every year. So you're never gonna hear me say I'm not winning the division. Like I'm just not realistic. I'm gonna be dead serious, but I think we're gonna win the division. So Howie, I don't think he's gonna. Like, I think some miraculous stuff gonna happen. Like, I don't think Howie. I like the signing right now because we only made one signing. We're not doing any free agency, so I'll give him like a A+ because he got one good signing. Like, what else did he do?
No, it's true. I mean, like, what did we really expect? I think that's the best. Like, I have to make a shirt of that just alone. Like, I'm not realistic. We're gonna win this. Like, that was the funniest thing ever. But no, I mean, realistically, what? If I would have told you a month ago, listen, we're going to get Anthony Harris and we might get one more person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd probably be like, yeah, Joe, you smoking. Like, even a week ago, I was telling people, like, listen, Adoree's going to be asking for money, bro. And no, he's going to be cheap. He's going to be cheap. That man just got $13 million a year. Like, nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming.
That man got his bread.
He got his bag, man, and I'm not mad at him for it. But let me ask you this. Who do you think on the Eagles next year has to step up the most? That's an Eagle right now. You could pick an offensive or a defensive player. Who do you think needs to step up?
I'm not going to be the majority of people say Jalen Hurts because it is pretty much Jalen Hurts. But in my point of stand, it's probably going to be Jalen Reagor because we picked him over Justin Jefferson. So in just 7, he had the best season as one of the rookies as a wide receiver. Out of all the rookies, he was the best. and we passed him up for Jalen Reagor. So I think we got to do better this year, which I think he will.
Facts.
You got to hope.
I think all our wide receivers will do better. I think we have an actual system now. You know what I'm saying? Like Doug Peterson, I feel like his system was to like press A and just keep asking coach suggestions because I feel like that's just all he did. He was just like, all right, yeah, let's just play. We'll run that. Like it was bad to watch last year. It was not fun at all. But I know you're one of the first guys that really hopped on that Jalen train. You were telling me from jump that you like Jalen. So what do you think Jalen's going to do this year? Do you think he's going to prove that it's his team this year?
I really think he do. I don't want them to draft a quarterback for that simple reason. I just want them to give him a chance. Like I watched him I never watched him when he was at Alabama. I'm not even on front. I watched him when he was in probably like Oklahoma because my brother he's a Sooner fan. So I just watched it a little bit. And I'm a Penn State fan, obviously. You already know. I used to want Micah Parsons, but now knowing that our offense is, slacky, so I wanna pick somebody else. We gonna get to that, but yeah, I think he's gonna do good, bro. I think he's gonna do good. I just see it, man. If we pick up someone in his draft, second round, first or second round, we good, bro. He's set. I'm telling you.
Facts.
So you said we'll get into that. What player do you want at 6? Or at least if you don't want to name a player, name a position.
Okay, I'm gonna name a player but I already know I sound like the majority of people, but man, we gotta get Kyle Pitts, man. We got to. I'm sorry, we gotta get Kyle Pitts, bro. We got to. Bro. I'm telling you, he's 6'6". I'm still a Philly fan all day, so bro. He's 6'6". You might as well just restate all that. Everybody just might as well click off the video, bro. I'm just gonna say all that. But for he's from Philly, bro. He's better from he ran his 40, but I really don't like the 40 like that. Just saying because it's not their game speed, but
I hear that.
Yeah, facts.
And bro, I'm telling you, bro. He's from Philly. He has the composure and everything, bro. I want Kyle Pitts, bro. And he didn't even play the full season. He had close to 1,000 yards or 1,000 yards. I'm gonna have to check on that, but I'm pretty sure he ran just over 1,000.
Yeah, and in 8 games. I mean, he balled out. I'll give him that. And in his senior year or junior year,
you guys might be convincing me a little bit.
I don't want him still. I don't want to say I don't want him. I'm not gonna say I don't want him because when I say I don't want somebody, people think it's not that I don't want him. I still am kind of on Chase right now. Maybe I don't know. It is what it is. I wouldn't be mad at either of them.
I don't care which one it is, but I'm just saying if it's between Chase and Pitts, like if they're both from Burr, I'm picking Pitts. But if one is gone, I'm picking them. Like it's that easy. So, but yeah.
Facts. Yeah, I think both of them, not both of them, but one of the others should hopefully be there. And if we're lucky, a lot of people might just go ahead and trade up. Like a bunch of teams might just go ahead and trade up for a quarterback. If all 5 people before us take a quarterback, we basically got the first pick in the draft. That's how I'm looking at it. So that's what I'm hoping for. Now, let me ask you one last question before we get you out of here. What do you want to do for the backup position?
Backup
quarterback. I guess there's a lot of backup positions on the team.
I mean, I'm kind of questioning on Foles, but I mean, I'll be okay to take him, but I already know the fans going to be yelling for him, but fans are fans, bro. We always do that. We Philly here, bro. It's not going to happen, bro. Like, winning, we all hype, bro. We don't care who's the starter. We don't care who's the starter, who's the backup. It can be Mark Sanchez back there. Yo, put him in. But, bro, come on, y'all.
But those are facts. Those are facts.
It's going to happen with anybody. I could be the backup. I'm pretty sure y'all be calling for me to go in. Brandon, come on, man. They was all agreeing with you earlier. Let me be the backup quarterback for a couple minutes, bro. Yeah, man. Why y'all so mean to me today? But hey, bro, Mr. Philly, before I let you go, bro, show them that swag one more time. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what time it is. Yo, y'all gotta get these shirts though. These are on fire, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If y'all want that one, get the t-shirt. But I got this one too, the black one. It's the True Turtles, bro. But you probably can't see it because it's folded. But
that's my man.
That's what I respect it.
Yeah.
And if you are a member, as he knows, members get a pretty good discount. So definitely join that membership. But my brother, man, I appreciate you swinging through, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you in the Discord. All right. He just left me. You saw that? He didn't even say bye. He was like, all right, I'm done.
I respect that.
Yeah, nah, he copped some.
That was pretty fresh.
That's my guy right there. So, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in the last two people together. Okay, so because one of them is starting to is pissing me off. All right, I love him like a little brother, but he's starting to piss me off. I hate his new name. So we're gonna bring in Big Play Slay, and we're gonna bring in. I'm gonna still call him Infamous 2K.
Yes,
all right, we're gonna ignore his name.
What's
We're
going
gonna ignore
on?
his name. But what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
I'm chilling.
Dude.
I'm all
Pepper.
mad right now.
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Good. So who wants to kick it off? How are y'all feeling about this off season?
Depends.
Like,
Infamous. You want to go?
Now you can go, bro.
No, you can go. I'm gonna let you go
All right,
first.
I just joined. I was taking a shower, but what do you call it? I just want to talk about picks, right? We'll just start jump straight into the draft. I'm gonna say this a million times. The pretty is rigged. I don't care. There's no watch. I'm telling you, Jamar Chase is gonna run a 4.3 or close to it. I'm telling you, he's gonna run a 4.3 or close to it. You have defensive ends who weigh like 260 running 4.2s now. Like there's like, come on now. You know damn well I know defensive end is running 4.2. So I think this Pro Bowl is rigged. It's okay, but we won't even get into that. Even if Pitts runs a 4.46, that is literally what Darren Waller runs. He is a reincarnation version of Darren Waller. They're both 6'6". They both run a 4.6. Darren Waller is I think like 10 pounds heavier. They're both almost the same frame. They're not like the biggest tight ends. They don't look the strongest and the biggest, but they're strong. They both have good hands, but one thing they both lack is route running. And the main reason why, what's his name, Darren Waller went from receiver to tight end was he was fast, he was strong, and he was tall, but his route running lacked to be able to take a cornerback one. So they switched him back to tight end. They switched him to tight end because they realized he's not the fastest and his route running is horrible. So we can't keep him at tight. We can't keep him at receiver. So that whole argument with, oh, he can play receiver to me is flawed. But you can't say that until he does it.
Did you just kick Brandon out?
No, I think he just had to leave probably.
Oh, okay.
He probably just had to go.
Like, where did Brandon go?
Yeah, so that's my whole thing. Until we go into the league, because there's a lot of tight ends who used to play receiver, whether it was in college or high school. There's a lot of players who used to play a different position. Freaking Greg Ward went from quarterback to receiver. So I mean, the whole he's a dual threat. We'll have to wait till he comes into the league because he could be a great receiver in college, and we all know playing college cornerbacks. I mean, his best corner he played, I think, was J.C. Horn, and I think they played in regular season, and he had a good game. But my whole thing is he didn't play receiver that game. He barely played receiver. He played. I think I looked at the snap percentage when he played receiver. He only lined up against J.C. Horn. I think it was 13 snaps of the whole game, and the rest were tight end. So my whole thing is, yes, he can play receiver, but that's in college.
Thank you, bro. Usually before you go Big Play Slay, Infamous, me and you argue for a minute. Usually me and you are going at it, but you just took the words right out of my mouth. That's what makes me nervous. Everything you just said. Good job, man. I'm proud of you. See, that's why he won that. That's why he won that draft contest. My boy knows what he's talking about. But go ahead, Big Play Slay. My bad.
So wait, ask the question one more time.
So yeah, I mean, well, now we kind of switched it over. How do you feel about Pitts? What are your thoughts about Pitts at number 6?
Pitts at number 6. See, I'm not on the Kyle Pitts train. I'm a more of a Jamar Chase fan, like Infamous is. See, I think Jamar Chase he has all the raw intangibles. He has like all the measurables that you want in a wide receiver. He's a big body receiver. He's a contested catch guy. He can make up for a bad play. I mean, he can create so much separation off the line that you gotta imagine if this team had that. Look at what our offense would do. Like, you could use Jamar Chase in so many different ways. And bringing in a fresh new system, a fresh new mind in Nick Sirianni. I mean, if you bring Jamar Chase, if you draft Jamar Chase, good things are only going to come.
Right. Facts. Yeah, I think before you go, Brandon, I think the one thing me and you have talked about is that you want to know that you have a dog at a certain position. You want to know I have probably, if not the best wide receiver in the draft, I have one of the top 2, top 3, right? Kyle Pitts is probably a top 3 or 4 wide receiver. You know, maybe he's the number 1 tight end, but do you take the number 1 tight end at 6? No, I don't think so. I think he's great, and I think he could be awesome. I think he could be a great player. It's just I want consistency. I want somebody that's done what they are going to do at the next level for a long has done it. And I feel like, you know, people say Jamar Chase only had that 1 year. That's true, but he's been a wide receiver his whole life. You know what I'm saying? He dominated at high school. He dominated that 1 year in college. He's always been that guy. Kyle Pitts had 330 yards his senior year in high school, and he was 6'4". So, like, he's never – and maybe he was growing into his body. It's just I've never seen the consistent domination, the consistent, you know, I'm the best player on the field. I haven't seen that from him enough to really take him at 6. You know, but to everybody's point, at this point, I'll probably take either of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but how do you feel? I mean, we heard people talking for an hour, so like now it's like kind of something, but.
And I was gonna say, and you see how fast everything changes with how one player with one good season, everything changes. I mean, I don't get football these days.
And just one little run through too. I think
it's the bias to you've seen, like we haven't seen Chase in over a year versus we just seen Pitts run a 4.46. I feel like a lot of people was like into that newer toy that like just came out or whatever. But I mean, what's his LSU's pro day is like March 31st, and if he does run a 4.3, I mean, then it's a close deal. Or if he runs like a low 4.2, like a 4.2, something like that.
If he does that at like the actual combine, I don't know how different the combine is going to actually be this year. But if he does that,
they're not doing it this year. They're not doing it
at all. I thought it was just going to be virtual.
I heard they're not doing one, and they're only doing the pro days. That's why this year they're not having coaches do it. They're having laser technology. But the whole thing was the tarp that the combine uses is to prevent like when I was doing the defensive end, when you know how like screen record tells you like the whole like down to the millisecond, when you screen record the whole thing and from start to finish, some guy on YouTube did it. It said 4.59 or something for that defensive end, which is believable. I mean, nowadays athletes are crazy. So versus the 4.2, and then they don't even show you the time. It's just a clip of him running, and then the caption says, "Oh, he ran this." So like a lot. That's why I had my suspicions.
I hear. I mean, we had someone that came on that literally said, "Watch out! You're gonna see a whole bunch of low 4.2s, 4.3s, 4.4s." Because, like you said, there's not a really official combine, and it's people with their Snapchats out putting out things.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Right. And so, one question for you guys, and I wasn't gonna bring him up, but because of Infamous's new name,
here we go. We made it all the way here.
I know. It's his fault, bro. He changed his name, and so I have to ask. Carson spoke twice last week after not speaking at all since the end of the season. He spoke twice at his press conference and then on the Pat McAfee show. What are your guys' thoughts on what he said?
You had to do it to us, Infamous. You had to do it to us.
Yeah, I went first, so you gotta go first this time.
All right. See, here's the thing. I think Carson wants to just see people over exaggerated his leadership. He's a good person. He's not a person who just backs out. You can see it on the field that he's a competitive guy. I mean, his competitive nature is out of the roof. But you can't tell me he didn't just punk out. I feel like he left only because of how bad the team was and how Joe is like smiling right now. Kind of shows you the example that I just took up. But I was going to say, I'm more on Carson Wentz's side, basing off of how bad the team was. I mean, you told me that. So if I'm Carson Wentz, I'm like, you told me that you were going to get me wide receivers, tight ends. You're just going to give me a whole team. Injuries after injuries after injuries. You told me to lose weight, which clearly ruined my career. You put me in a position to fail because me and the head coach can't get along, which totally got overboard. They seem to mutually kind of like each other, I'd say. But with what I was saying with Wentz is that Howie Roseman didn't build a team around him, and I can't fault him for that. When you invest that kind of contract into a player, you expect a team to be built around the player, and that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. As a
He said,
temporary,
I can't stand you. I really can't. He said,
as a temporary Colts fan, I love that he spoke to them. You know, got to see my new quarterback. But as an Eagles fan, I don't care. I mean, it's expected as if you're a new guy who pretty much your career is riding on this team. You want to get the fans and you want to get the media on your side and make a good first impression as soon as you can. So him speaking to the media and Pat McAfee twice is honestly, I don't see no problem with it. The whole thing here was my whole analogy with what happened. It's like if you're at a desk job, right, and your coach and your boss is telling you to submit an 18-page paper by the end of the night, and they send you to the bottom pits of a volcano where there's like 1 bar service. You can't do what you can do as fast as you have five bars of Wi-Fi. So like my whole thing is, I don't know what kind of analogy I kind of came up with it just now, but you get what I'm trying to come at. My whole thing is you can't. The thing and Frank Reich spoke, I think it was 2 days ago, to a reporter, and he said the only he said he was on the fence and when Carson first was on the thing, and when he rewatched the film, he said 2019 was enough for me to say he still got it and he still can be a great player. So then when you continue reading on, he said that the problem with what Wentz is what a lot of fans and coaches and people around the league is saying is that they're giving him 1 bar of Wi-Fi, expecting him to produce 5-star content. And when you do that, you're just gonna get one result, which is what we had this year. So honestly, that's my whole take on it. I mean, he's gone for y'all. For me, he's here. But make sure. Listen, I'm gonna buy a Wentz jersey, and that will be the first day you guys will see my face in the call-in because I'm gonna turn the camera on. I'm gonna turn the camera on. I'm gonna face my camera, and I'm gonna proudly raise my hands up with the number 2.
And we're gonna win. I will say this: the year before we won the Super Bowl, so 2016, the year that we actually drafted Carson Wentz. One of my old friends, and I say old because this made me look totally different at him. He switched from being an Eagles fan to a Cowboys fan, and he kept on saying, "Oh, it's just football. Why do you care?" To me, it was just. I'm from a time period where you are loyal, and that goes down to the team. I don't care about players. I care about teams. Look, you guys are a different generation, a different era. You guys do what you want. I don't care. I love you, Infamous. So it is what it is. We joke around, but I hate Wentz. I don't care about Wentz. I hope he plays 75% of his snaps, and then after that, I hope he owns a blockbuster. So I really could care less about the guy, to be honest, but it is what it is. I want to ask you guys one last question. I want to ask you guys both one last question because then we got one more person that's going to come on and then we're going to end this for the night. I want to know, RB asked me this morning, over or under 7.5 games. How many games do you see the Philadelphia Eagles winning? Do you think it'll be more than 7.5, less than 7.5? We'll start with you, Brandon. Actually, we'll start with you, Brandon, then we'll go to Infamous and finish off with Big Play Slay.
Yes, sir.
As a fan, and I want to say I'm going to say over. I think we can get to that 8 to 9 range. I don't know. I'm gonna stick to that, but it's tough because I don't want to say we're gonna suck. But I think that if Nick Sirianni does put a good scheme together and is able to utilize the players we do have to their full potentials, I think we're going to see a better team than we did last year, considering that the offensive line is healthy, that is already 10 times better than last year. If Rager gets used the right way, if the other wide receivers, if Travis Fulgham actually plays like he played those couple games, and then you have Hurts coming in with a fresh offseason, fresh everything, coming in with a new mindset as a starter and not having Carson Wentz breathe down his neck, then I think this team could do good. I mean, the defense is still questionable, but we'll see what happens in the draft and we'll see what happens toward the summertime. But I think that we can win at least 8 to 9 games. And if we're lucky, we'll win the division.
Okay, well, that will be a very, very lucky thing if we win the division. The whole for me, it's way too early. Kind of like what Brandon said. I mean, like we don't know what Nick Sirianni's gonna do. We don't know what anyone's gonna do. We don't know what these receivers are gonna look like. But just right now, off the talent of what we have on the roster, I'd say under. And if the draft goes like Jamar Chase, Asante Samuel, like what's that, Chaz Surratt in the third round if he falls, something like that, then definitely over. Now, I know you guys don't care, but for my Colts, we're winning the Super Bowl, and yeah.
All right, big play Slay. What do you think? Over or under?
Stat line again? Like
7.5.
7.5. You know what? I think I'm gonna go under. I just feel like this team is not fully built around a team that you know is going to win. Like in 2017, we pretty much knew we were going to go to the playoffs, and that's why most analysts and ESPN reporters, hell, you probably all said we were probably going to win 12, 13 games because our team was just well run. I mean, our team was just amazing in 2017. But this year, you have some guys who can step up, but you have younger guys who are still trying to learn, or not. They're still they're like mentally and physically developing. You'd assume that this team wins 5-6 games with the new scheme fit and no analogy on things. Yeah, that's where I see them.
Yeah, I got them around like 6-7. We'll see. I mean, I hope that I'm wrong. I've learned, especially after the 2017 season, to expect the least, and then be excited when you get, when something different happens. Because, I feel like whenever I go out here and say, oh, we're going to win 13, 14 games, we end up winning like 4 or 5.
Wait,
so.
what about
I mean, if we're going to do the under, we might as well just win like 1 game and just get a great draft pick. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, we're probably going to win 0 games next year.
Wait, real quick. Next year, right?
No games.
Next year, are you looking to, depending, let's say we win 4 games again, or like 5 or something really low, get us top 10 pick in the draft? Are you then gonna say buy Brooks? Kelsey's probably gonna be gone. Maybe trade Slay and like some of the stuff that some Eagles fans were considering this year to get some draft picks to hurry up and finish rebuilding faster.
I mean, if we're trash, yeah, you got to start looking at what people's values are. And if we're trash, it probably means that they didn't have, like, if our offense is bad, it's probably going to be because our offensive line gets hurt again. This happens, that. Like, if our offensive line is good, we should have a pretty good running game, which in turn should help Jalen Hurts out. Like, I think we do have talent on the offense. I think our problem has been injuries. Like, we all bash like that we've had terrible, draft picks, but other than Umbrella Boy, we haven't really seen anybody stay healthy, and that's just because JJ don't really do anything when he's out there. Like, he's not really running the right routes anyway, so it's hard to get hurt when you're not doing the right thing. So I mean,
he's a soft player. He's soft. He can't do anything.
We'll see what we have.
I've seen him make some big catches.
Just like 2. You see him make like 2 or 3 catches. I think he has like 6 for his whole career. I mean, I think that he could be one guy that has a resurgence. Who knows? He might have just been used wrong.
His only touchdown is because Miles Sanders fumbled. That's crazy.
Yo, he was so hyped too. That was just too funny.
But it's also based around how bad Doug Peterson just could not develop players, I think. And
his job is not to develop the receivers. But listen, before we head off, let me just clear something up. I'm obviously joking, y'all. I will be Eagles fan when the season starts. But I am gonna be. I'm not a Colts fan. I'm just a Colts. I keep an eye close on them. Close eye on them. That's it.
I
Or
hear
y'all
that.
come
One more
jumping on
question
me and
before we
just
get out.
Yeah, go ahead, big play.
All right. You mentioned it a couple times over here already, but two breakout candidates, one on offense and defense.
You're asking me who I would choose?
Yeah, everyone.
Um,
Yeah.
On offense, I'm gonna say, excuse me. I'm gonna go kind of off the grid here, and I'm gonna go with Jordan Mailata. I think that Jordan Mailata is gonna take that left tackle position and really just go crazy. I think he's really gonna be that guy for the future, hopefully. So I'm gonna go off the grid and say him. And then for defense, I'm gonna steal one from Dave Spadero because he said this on mics. I'm gonna go with Javon Hargrave. It's about time that you work up to that pay. You're gonna be the clear-cut number 2. There's nobody that you got to worry about. Fletcher Cox is gonna be getting double teamed still. So, I think this is the time for him to prove that he was worth us going and getting him in a time that we probably shouldn't have, cap-wise, because there's a lot of money that we went out and got him that year. So I'm gonna go with those two. I'll go with those two people.
All right.
So my offensive player, I'm going to go ahead and say Miles Sanders. I think this season he's finally going to be utilized as a number 1 running back. We're going to run the ball, and to have Hurts to be that running threat as well, that only helps running backs. I mean, you see it with the Ravens. You see it with other teams that have a mobile quarterback, and the running backs play a huge part. And I think Miles Sanders, as long as he gets his fumbling under control, he should have a huge season. And then on defense, I'm going to go Derek Barnett. If we keep him on the 5th-year option, this is basically his prove-it year. So he's going to want to go off. And if he's not going to get a big contract with us, he's going to want a big contract somewhere. So that means he's going to need to play his best year yet. And I think that could happen if he stays healthy.
Shall I go or?
Yeah, go ahead. Give yours now.
Assuming he gets snaps, I think on offense it'll be Quez Watkins. I feel like him and Fulgham are the best receivers on the team, or will be the best receivers on the team. And it's just a feeling because when you saw what he did, the thing was a lot of people when they got the ball, they didn't take advantage of getting the ball. Quez barely got the ball, but he did the best he could when he got the ball, and that shows me that he has a lot of heart and he's willing to work. So I feel like he will be a very good breakout player. It's gonna be Miles Sanders, but I have to be original because Brandon. It's not really matter. But on defense for a while it's been what's his name, Hargrave as well. But I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go what's his name, Alex Singleton.
Okay.
I feel like if he can develop his passing, his drop back and pass, and he's very good. I mean, but when I mean breakout, I don't mean he's going to be the best player, but I feel like you're going to see a lot of improvement from what he did last year. He'll be a serviceable linebacker. That's what.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. For me, offense, I'd say Jason Huntley. I feel. No, I'm gonna say Jason Huntley.
Go for it, bro. We had him on the show. I would love to see that.
Billy Insider podcast, Hunter Doyle. He's mentioned this a couple times. He would be like the Naheem Hines of the offense from the Colts. You can use him in so many different ways. He's like a dual threat at the running back position where you can line him up at wideout. You could move him around a couple times. And they run 12 personnel, so that also aligns. But on defense,
hold on, Slay, real quick. Who did you pick? I thought you said Jason Kelsey.
Jason Huntley.
Oh! I thought you said Jason Kelsey. That's why I was like, if he's moving around the line, I was like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Defense. You know what? It's time for Avonte Maddox to go off, bro. I think he's been getting hyped up too much. This year has to be the year for him. You got a new defensive scheme, and they looked at what's his name? Who signed with the Giants today? Adoree Jackson. Yeah, Adoree Jackson. They were interested in him a while. The Giants signed him, of course. You have to keep that chip on your shoulder. knowing that they wanted him over you. They were going to start him. They were going to put you on the bench pretty much. And I think it's time for Avonte Maddox to ball out.
Wait, hold on. Isn't Avonte Maddox a free agent?
Nah.
Nah, I think
No,
so.
next year he would be.
I don't think Avonte Maddox has got a real fair shot in a sense because he's been moved around so much on that defense where Jim Schwartz is plugging him in safety, in the box, nickel, corner. It's just like if we have the ability to at least play him in the slot just to keep him there and see what he does, or if you really think he can play safety, then keep him there and see what he does. To give him a shot. I feel like him and then like Jalen Mills last year, they've just been moved around so much, which is cool for their resume, but it doesn't really help when we need someone to be that prime position at all times.
Facts. And screw that resume. If we ain't gonna trade nobody, we don't trade no damn body no more. Like, we really gave up Rasul Douglas, Sidney Jones. We gave up all these players, got nothing in return. So I could give a damn less about their resume, man.
Facts.
I could give a damn less. But what you guys got any last words y'all want to say before y'all get out of here?
No. Go Colts. AFC South. Honestly, I would have been stopped, but seeing Joe get mad, it just more. So like,
me and him go at it in the freaking in the Discord all the time, bro. I can't stand this kid, bro. But you know I love you, man.
Voice channel or something, or just like preach, like the little chat thing.
Usually just the chat. I mean, they do. I mean, everybody. We got like 35 people still in here. Everybody join the Discord. It's a whole lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? We all just BS and everything. And if you're not a channel member, you kind of get the same perks because I'm lazy and don't want to just pick out every channel member in there. So I'd usually just drop it in the main chat. Like, so it doesn't really matter. We're all members at the end of the day. But I think me and Brandon are going to finish this live up. So I'm gonna get y'all out of here. But I appreciate y'all coming through, man.
Always be safe.
Huh? Yes, sir.
Have a good
God
day.
bless. Yes,
Peace
sir.
out,
God
boys.
bless, Big Play. I'll see you.
Yep.
All right. So we haven't done it in a while, but it went pretty smooth. It went pretty. I feel good. How do you feel, Brandon? How you feeling?
That was good. That was a good run. I thought there was going to be another person. I thought you said there was one more. I'm assuming.
Yeah, they bounced. They said F y'all.
I hear that.
F y'all. I feel bad. You know, I'm not good at kicking people out, so it's like, you know, it is what it is. I had a good time. I hope everybody else had a good time. Be sure to hit that like. Hit that subscribe if you are new. We are blowing up very quickly, and it is all because of you. I want to say one or two things before we do get you guys out of here. We do have coming up on Wednesday, we have the Draft Dr. Phil. Tomorrow, excuse me. So tomorrow, Tuesday, we have at 7.
Yep.
At 7, we have the Draft Dr. Phil representing Chicago. He runs The Tape Never Lies. It's actually an amazing channel, so definitely go check it out. And then Wednesday, this is what I meant for Wednesday. We got Jamie Lynch coming on the show from 97.5, The Fanatic. So definitely come through for that.
Yes,
definitely, you know, hit all the links in the description. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. Big Play says you're the legend. I don't know why they hate me today, but it's all good. It's all good. You're still here. So other than that, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here, bro?
Nah, just make sure you guys keep up this mock draft series. It's real dope, and we got a good one tomorrow. And then we're getting toward the end of that. I mean, the draft's going to be here before we know it. And we only have what? This is pick 20, so we got 12 more teams left, man. And then, yeah, we got Jamie Lynch. So I'm excited about these next couple of weeks, man. It's going to be fun.
Yes, sir. And I know none of y'all care, but I'm definitely going to get one of the Brooklyn Nets not cheerleaders. She's a dancer, but one of the Brooklyn Nets is what they're called. So I'm getting her on here. And that's just for me. Hopefully you guys watch whatever if you don't. Other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Peace.